Now at 12 minutes after 7, here's Rick with today's Newsmaker.
All right, Bill, thanks a lot. As tax time gets underway, there is an effort to train and oversee the state's tax preparers. It follows one group's revelation last week that it had found fraud and negligence in an undercover investigation of professional tax return preparers. Stephen Black is the founder and president of that group, ImpactAlabama. He joins us here in the studio. Thanks a lot for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Rick.
A week after you appeared on Good Day Alabama and talked about this, you now have put together basically a group of lawmakers, bipartisan, with a new plan you're hoping will change some of the problems.
That's right. It turns out, and most Alabamians don't realize this, we're one of several states with no oversight over this industry at all. And many consumers don't realize when you go into a commercial tax preparer, you could be paying $300 or $400 to someone who hasn't had to get a license. There's no training requirement. There's no minimum proficiency test they've had to pass. And that's just unfair to consumers. There's no way to judge the competency.
Now you compare it in saying that, I mean, CPAs, obviously they have oversight, they have licensing and education requirements that they have. Tax attorneys are a good example. But you say when you're talking about professional tax preparers, I could walk outside, lease out a storefront right now without any training and essentially open up and offer this service if somebody was willing to take it, right?
Absolutely. And this legislation exempts what you just said, CPAs and attorneys and what's called enrolled agents who are IRS trained, certified tax preparers. And this says to everyone else, sure, you can open up your own business, you can provide a service to your community, but you need to show them that you're competent and qualified. The way in Alabama, if you want to do someone's hair, you got to pass a test and get a license. People that do nails in Alabama are certified. This is the most important document a family signs all year. It has huge consequences for their financial well-being, and we have no oversight or training requirement at all.
Now you talk about it would be an oversight of the commercial tax preparation industry. You would have a state board, but you would also have require continuing education under this legislation, and you would require fees that would be paid to get that licensing each year, right?
Absolutely, and there would be no tax increase. It would pay for itself by the licensing fee from the tax preparers themselves.
Now, at the same time, that licensing fee, at least some of the proposal is you would use part of that fee to go toward an outreach to make folks aware that when getting your tax preparations, if you need help on that, you can find volunteer and free assistance programs out there. That's going to be a catch and going to be a rub for the industry in particular, because that's direct, essentially direct competition for them.
Well, you know, what we're saying to them is there's also 11% of the money in earned income tax credits, which is a very large credit for working poorer families with children that's being left on the table. That's about $135 million that Alabama families right now are eligible to claim that they don't claim. And if we put more time and emphasis into an outreach effort of raising the awareness for these families, there's going to be more money brought into the state, more money to those families. And if some of it goes to help churches and community organizations provide tax support for free for families, I still think the commercial industry is better off because it's going to raise the number of families who need tax preparation services.
On the flip side, you also say, kind of touching into that EITC, when you talk about the earned income tax credit, you say some of the less scrupulous of these organizations out there that you investigated will try to offer products when they're doing the tax preparation that basically is more and more money coming out of that person's pocket when they're preparing their taxes.
Absolutely. There's something called a refund anticipation loan, which I recommend to people never to take. This is usually a 1-week loan. We found it at a rate annualizing to about 600%, which is a huge amount of money for a family to throw away, especially in these hard economic times. The IRS is very good and fast, actually, at processing electronic returns for free, and you'll have it in your bank account within 5 to 7 days. And we urge people to wait the 5 to 7 days and save that money.
Okay, Stephen Black with ImpactAlabama. Thanks so much for being with us
Thank
today.
you for having me.
Okay, 7:16. Let's go over to Mickey Ferguson now.